Namaste friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Yogi Aaron and I'm the owner of Blue Osa Yoga Retreat and Spa, this beautiful place here in Costa Rica. I'm also a muscle specialist and master yoga teacher. And one of the things I want to talk to you guys today about is, do you need to stretch before or after your workouts? So one of the biggest misconceptions that is out there is that we need to stretch in order to prevent injuries. Well, there's been actually no real scientific evidence showing that this is actually true. Now, the deep dives that I have done into some of the research and some of the studies that have been done around this either show one of two things. Either A, that stretching doesn't do anything, meaning it doesn't help us to prevent injuries. The research that has been done on people who have stretched before or didn't stretch have showed that there was really no change. There was no results. So yeah, stretching is sort of a waste of time from that perspective. Why would you want to stretch before you're going to go exercise? But the more interesting thing for me is that the studies that have been done have also shown that people who did stretch actually were prone to injuries. And why is that? Because if we stretch before we work out, our muscles will start to shut down. The connection between the brain and the muscles, or the central nervous system and the muscles, is severed. It's like taking a pair of gardening shears and cutting that connection. You can think about that connection like a telephone line. There's a telephone line between your muscles and your central nervous system, and they're always talking to each other. So when the muscles sense that they need to contract, that they need to be used, they send a message to the central nervous system in the form of gamma motor neurons. And when we stretch, we actually start to cut those gamma motor neurons. Those gamma motor neurons are no longer working to send messages to the central nervous system. And people that kind of understand the science of stretching, which is really interesting to me, they will tell you that yes, when we stretch, we're actually starting to sever that connection, and that's what helps us to become more flexible.
Another change that happens physiologically with stretching, our muscles have an alpha-gamma reflex loop. So when you stretch a muscle, there's this automatic signal that gets sent to the spinal cord. It doesn't even go up to the brain and back. The spinal cord then tells the muscle to contract. That coactivation would be bad for stretching, right? If you're stretching the muscle and then the muscle's trying to pull back on you. So over time, you can actually down-regulate that reflex loop, and that's been shown to happen when you stretch for long periods of time.
From a muscle function perspective, that is the absolute wrong thing that we want to have happen. If you're going to work out, if you're going to start adding load, if you're going to run, if you're going to do any kind of form of exercise, hiking, swimming, you need to have those muscles working properly. You want your muscle function to be at its most optimum. So I have given you guys a lot of videos on how to prepare for workouts and what you should do. Then the question is, well, should I stretch afterwards? I've always been told I should stretch after a workout. Well, at one point in human history, everybody thought that the earth was flat and kept saying that the earth was flat, and everybody just believed it. So just because everybody says something is true doesn't mean that it's true. In my opinion, the best thing that you can do after your workout is just relax and just go through a nice relaxation practice. One of the things about ending a workout is that you want to have sort of a cool down period. Now, whether or not you absolutely have to have this, that's a debatable point. But if you're going to do a cool down, there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing a cool down. Cool downs can mean just going for a walk around this beautiful pool 2 or 3 times really nice and slow. It can mean just taking a short quarter-mile walk and just really relaxing. It's just a way for you to start bringing your heart rate down in more of a methodical manner. However, there are some things that you might want to do, and I want to just share them with you. When we're exercising, we are increasing stress to our body. Now, Is it a good stress or bad stress? We could have a big discussion about that. However, you are applying stress, so already your system is in a stressed out mode. Your brain is receiving a lot of information and processing in it. And so what we don't want to do is give the brain more things to process. We don't want to give more stress to the system. So muscle activation is, in a way, a type of a stress, and it's a very gentle stress. It's a stress where we're starting to stimulate those intrafusal muscle fibers to send messages to the brain. So in a way, it's a good stress. However, if your system is already in a stressed out state, the last thing we want to do is add a lot more stress. So I would definitely suggest doing some muscle activations, but do it in a way where we're really imbibing this philosophy of less is more. Why you don't want to do stretching after your workout, and why I think it's just really crazy, is because your body is already activated. You've lifted all these weights, your muscles are working, you're in a heightened state. You don't want to leave that state or shut down all those muscles from that heightened state. You know, everything is kind of like activated, and when we go and stretch, we deactivate those muscles. Okay, so in my opinion, don't stretch. Just don't stretch. That's why I wrote a book called Stop Stretching that you guys can get on Amazon. If you haven't got it yet, go to Amazon, get my book called Stop Stretching. So I want to just show you guys a couple of like little things that you can do just to make sure that your system is activated. Okay, so the first one is just to come down and just sit here. And sitting up, now I like to have my legs straightened out. You can cross your legs if you want to. I like to have them straight out. Now, if you can keep the legs straight, that's fine. I like to keep my knees slightly bent because when I bend my knees a little bit, I'm able to extend a little bit in my lumbar spine. And I'm going to bring my hands behind my head and just do like a gentle little twist here. Now, sometimes I'll cue this and I'll say, twist as far as you can. Just twist, but without straining. So I don't want you to necessarily twist as far as you can. I want you just to kind of twist and go to a place that feels comfortable without stressing your body. Remember, our body's already in a stressed out state, so we don't want to add more stress to it. Okay, so just twisting there and hold it there for about 6 seconds. And then come back and lift up and then twist again. Very good. Now, as you're doing this, keep the heart really lifted up. What are we doing here? Inhale, come back, and then exhale and twist. What are we doing here? We're activating the oblique muscles, okay? Both the external and internal obliques. Inhale, come back, and then exhale and twist. And inhale, come back, and exhale and twist. Very good. And so if our obliques have been shut down at any point, this is just a nice and gentle and easy way to activate the oblique muscles. The obliques are really important because they help to stabilize the upper torso, okay? Inhale, come back, exhale, relax. And then we'll do the other side. So bring the hands back up and then twist the other way. Again, just go to a comfortable place. We're not trying to push a range of motion. We're not trying to go that far. We're just moving to a place that's comfortable. Inhale, come back, and exhale, twist. We're holding this again for about 6 seconds, and we're going to do it 6 times. Come back, inhale, and then exhale. Very good. Now you might notice that as we're doing this from a gentle place, that you're actually able to twist a little bit more each time from a place that's effortless. You're not straining, you're not trying. It just sort of starts to move, And why is that? Because those muscles start to engage more and more. Why are they engaging? Inhale, come back, exhale, twist. Because those gamma motor neurons, the intrafusal muscle fibers, which are attaching to the bones, are sending messages to the central nervous system in the form of gamma motor neurons saying, hey, we need to contract. Hello, we're here. Come back and twist. Oh, those wonderful intrafusal muscle fibers. And then come back, inhale, and then exhale and twist. Very good. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is just come onto our back. And I love this one. This is really lovely. And so this is such a wonderful exercise to do. And we're going to do this just a couple of times on each side. But what you're going to do here is to slowly raise your right leg up as high as you can, without straining, of course. And then we're going to slowly raise it back down. Okay, so slowly lift it up. And this is a great exercise because one of the groups of muscles that shut down a lot, that disassociate or disconnect from the central nervous system, is all of our hip flexors. And even though we're not necessarily using our core muscles, slowly raise it up. Watch how slow I'm doing this. Okay, it's very slow, it's very methodical. And then slowly lower back down. It's very slow and it's very methodical. And so, even though we're not using our core muscles, we do need some core stabilization going on here to kind of keep us stable. So we are, in a way, activating our core muscles, even though we're not necessarily using them. Very good. Let's just do it one more time. We're also activating all of our quads, all of our hip flexors. Very nice. And then slowly lower down. And then let's do the other side. Now, one of the reasons why it's really important to move slowly lower down, is because you have two kinds of muscle fibers. You have slow twitch and fast twitch. When you were working out, doing all of your exercises, you were probably working on strengthening your fast twitch muscle fibers. That's what gives you those short bursts of energy. Like, for example, if you're a sprinter, you're going to run really fast. You know, you're really training your fast twitch muscle fibers. Long distance runners tend to use more of the slow twitch. This slow twitch is related more to endurance, your ability to, do something for a long period of time. So we want to start to exercise those slow twitch muscle fibers. Part of our routine before workout is to activate those slow twitch muscle fibers so they can create more stability in your body as you're going through different ranges of motion in your exercise. And this will be the last one. And of course, when you finish this, I, again, just invite you just to stay here and relax for as long as you like. In yoga, sometimes we stay in this pose for 20, 25 minutes. You probably don't have that much time. But if you can stay here just for a few minutes and do some deep breathing, this is going to be one of the best ways that you can start to recover from your exercise. And although I will tell you that I don't do that pose after I exercise, I do it every day. at least within a few hours of my exercise. Relaxation is so crucial. It's so vital to your health, to your well-being, and to decrease stress. Anytime we have stress in the body, there's going to be an inflammatory response. There's always going to be inflammation. So we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to decrease stress, to then decrease inflammation. And once we start decreasing inflammation, we decrease pain in our body. And that's what it's really all about, is to become stronger and pain-free so that we can go out to live our best life and manifest and live our purpose. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope this was informative, and we'll see you in the next video. Namaste, friends.